Hey everybody, welcome to the second session of the Robot Challenge feedback series with my good friend Pablo Gomez. How you doing, Pablo?
Yeah, all good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Yeah, good man. What's been happening in your world?
Wrapping up the year. As always, is trying to get some time off, but it's all good. Just
Yeah,
working.
have you got loads of projects on at the moment?
Yeah. I'm wrapping up like 3 projects on the go and two more that are still going. So
Yeah, cool.
lots of things to do. Yeah,
Are you
busy,
heading
busy.
home? Are you heading home soon?
No. I got my family coming over, so I'm also trying to set up my studio so that I can keep working a little bit because my nephew is coming and he's about 1 year old, 1.5 years. So there's not gonna be peace and quiet anymore.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, thanks for jumping on today. We'll launch straight into it. I'm just going to share my screen. I'll just put that over there, and we'll just do that, and we'll jump on the window, and we'll share that. Cool. So we've got So I mean, there's a lot of great feedback from last week, Pablo. So I think people were
hmm
really grateful that we were able to give some stuff. To be honest, man, I haven't actually even looked through recently just some of the entries, and just at first glance, it looks like there's been a lot of progress with some of them. So I'm happy to do similar to what we did last week, man, and just sort of jump into anyone that sort of takes your fancy. Like, this is not pre-scripted, so
hmm
like we said, it's completely random. So yeah, I mean, anyone takes your fancy there?
Yeah, go for anything. I think that sort of geisha robot type of
This
thing.
one here?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's have a look.
see what's up with that one.
Awesome. So let's just have a bit of a scroll down. So we've got, last updated on November the 1st. So it looks like they've just finished some concept work, which is just pretty cool.
hmm
If I scroll all the way down and we've got some stuff going here. So yeah, just showing the process of that concept work. Any thoughts
Yeah,
on this one, Pablo?
yeah, that's good. I think I have the idea. Like I like the idea in general. I like those reference from Ghost in the Shell type of thing. Um, I think it's a matter of I think depending on where you want to take this, for example, it would be a matter of like tweaking some of the shapes a bit because they're like a bit too blocky. So if you want to make something a bit more, let's say, more feminine or more delicate, let's say curves, um, that could be something to look into, like from this early concepting stage, so that it doesn't look like either very straight tubular shapes or blocks that are very rigid. That's only if you want to go down that path, um, because right now I feel is is not hitting that sort of more beautiful, feminine vibe, and it's more of like a transformer type of thing, at least from
Mhm.
the chest app. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah, it's all very straight, and you're right. There's not too many feminine qualities about it. You see some of the concept work here. It is, I mean, he or she has sort of stuck true to some of this concept artwork here. And it doesn't look too feminine. But I love
hmm
the geisha. I love that geisha style, right? And if they're able to incorporate a little bit more of that, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's really really good.
Yeah,
I mean, it also has to do with the posing. I think the posing will help a lot. But as a general rule, like try to maintain that sort of shape language across the entire design. So if you want to go for like those blocky things, just make the head blocky as well.
yeah, awesome. Let's jump into another one. This one took my eye just then. Cook 13. So we've got Seth Cookie. Oh, that's cool. There's a concept I made in school for a stylized mini character project. Awesome. So let's just have a look, see if they've got any. We'll go right down to the bottom, see if there's any concept. Oh, that's cool. A little bit of concept art there. So we can just funnel through these. Started the modeling process, some basic shapes, piecing it together, doing a bit of a screen grab with some ambient occlusion. Cool. Feedback for this one. I think from my perspective, I was just and it's hard to say because it hasn't been textured yet. It's just making sure the facial, there's some sort of emotion and facial qualities coming out. Again, the pose is quite neutral. I'm sure there's a lot of work still to be done on this, but to make it more dynamic is just making sure that there are some of those emotions being provoked because of the textures and material placement. What else have we got there?
Yeah.
I was just going to go back to the concept art actually. Sorry, Pablo.
Yeah, I think with that one, as you were saying, is another cool thing or another important thing to keep in mind are the ratio between the different limbs or pieces of the robot. Like proportion is, I think it's very key, especially when you are trying to make something that is stylized and cartoonish as well. So like I would push things like the head or the sphere that houses the face. I'll push that, make it a lot larger, maybe twice as big or 50% larger. Same thing with the face. Either scale that up, and the arms as well. So right now everything feels like the scale is very similar across the entire design. So just exaggerating things to make the character look more appealing would be really good.
Yep, awesome, great feedback. All right, your choice, man. Let's jump into another one.
Yeah, let's try that bumblebee thingy.
Yeah, that looks pretty mad. ESMA, excellent. So we've got, I'll just scroll down to the bottom so we can see where it started. Okay, so we've got some modeling, some crazy modeling going on here.
Yeah.
Let's just go large and then I can just toggle through the various images.
Yeah, I think this is this is the type of thing that it's like great to see thinking about the functionality of the design, not just like make things for the sake of making it look cool, but they're actually moving pieces that could actually work in real life. That's really cool.
Yeah, done a lot of work on this. Not too sure how long they've been working on it for, but yeah, definitely got a lot of components and parts to it, which is great to see. Let's just have a look at this. It's the back of it, and then we've got a close up of the front. Yeah, it's pretty true to the original character, actually.
Yeah, awesome.
Good job.
Yeah, I don't think I have much to say about it. The only thing I can sort of see is a bit of the hard aging around certain areas. So just like a bit of beveling around the helmet.
Around here. Yeah.
Yeah, in certain areas would be good to have a bit more beveling, even if it is like super sharp. But I don't think, at this stage that it's been textured and all of that, that will be a lot more work. I mean, it's not a big deal. That's just like a personal preference that I think it would enhance things. But yeah, it looks pretty sick.
Yeah, great job. And then showing the substance painter file, which is cool. Get a couple of extra points for that. There we go. Awesome. Love seeing the progress. Great job.
Yeah, really good.
Cool. Yeah, that one's well underway. Lots of updates there, from the original character, which is cool. I mean, yeah, probably. I don't know if he's cute. I suppose he's cute, isn't he? Bumblebee was always sort of had a cute sort of quality to him. So yeah, I guess he fits in.
Yeah, the personality is always something else that you can take into account.
Yeah, I'm curious about this first one, actually. I just want to have a look at Roby.
Right.
Roby One Kenobi. What's this? Roby is a robot inspired by a vintage camera from the 1970s. Love that. Love that. That's cool.
Great idea, yeah.
I'll just bring it all the way down to the bottom, and I'll just go so we can toggle through. So this is early stages, Pablo. So we'll just go through. So here's some concept stuff. That sort of idea of an old camera. That's cool. Love seeing the progress. Actually, I like the look of it there. I think when we get to this, it gets a little bit too, it feels like it's still a bit too shiny. You know what I mean? The specular highlights are a bit hot, and maybe the light is a little bit too. Let's go back to there. I'll just go back in. But that's as close as we get to it. I mean,
Mhm.
I like all the little features and little components of them. I just feel like there's probably not enough variation just in the texture quality, and that sort of the metal. It'd be nice to see some breakup in that. And yeah,
Yeah, I feel like this one could benefit from that sort of like steampunk
yeah,
vibe.
exactly.
So
Hmm.
maybe in some areas
That's
at
what I think. I
yeah.
like that one because that almost looks steampunk, and you can see that. I liked how it's sort of everything's been subdued a little bit,
Hmm.
and you've got those nice wear there. It's not as shiny. It's just it feels like that is actually in a much better space than where that is, to be honest.
Yeah, I think maybe it's with any reflective surface, especially metallic, it's ultimately about the lighting, how it is presented.
Hmm.
So it could be just a matter of tweaking the lighting, the presentation lighting, to not have such a big specular or key light coming from the top, and something more slightly more diffuse, and maybe an HDRI that has some reflections would be helpful. But yeah, like I said, it would be interesting to include some maybe some leather straps or some leather,
Mm,
some silver, some other type of metals that that make sense to have in a style like this. And it could be as simple as in that side, I don't know, like that lever on the side, you could have like a couple of wraps of leather that you know make the things stick to the side. I don't know, something like that would
mm,
be interesting, and definitely will help to add that contrast between the materials.
yep. No, I like that. Yeah, just introducing a different material into it. That's cool. Your choice, Matt.
Yeah, let's go for that. At the top one, the third one.
This one here,
Um, yeah, that one.
23% charged. Cool. Julian, let's have a look. I'm going to scroll all the way down. Oh, hang on. Maybe we're at the start here, 2nd of November. I say, okay, cool. There's not too much. So he's just starting with some
Hmm.
initial concept. It's kind of cute. I like it. It kind of feels like a bit like Wally.
Yeah,
Got that.
yeah,
That's
has that
sort of
vibe.
yeah. Uh, yeah. Completed his concept. That's cool. And just starting into early stages of the modeling. Nice
Yeah,
one.
that's pretty good.
Good.
It's pretty close to the idea as well.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to jump across onto the next page, so we're not just focusing on the first page. And yeah, let's go for one. Actually, I might even just see. I'll just do a filter based on recently updated, so we can see. Yeah, here's some new stuff coming through. I'm going to go for this little the yellow one
Yep.
here. Robot Battle Suite. Cool. Scroll down. Let's go. Oh, there's a few updates here as well. So we've got the backstory. Okay, cool. Got a bit of a mood board there. Show. We've seen that one before. Did we see that guy
Yeah.
before?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. It's a pretty cool one anyway, so it's good to have it as a reference.
Yeah. Oops, I'll go this way. So we're going. So it's sort of building out the character now. Got the different parts. Adding. Working up the head. Doing some UV layout. Doing some maps. Keep going through. Yeah, there's a truckload of updates. Keep going through. Okay, cool. We're starting to get to something. Okay, so there are two parts maybe. Let's have a look. Got the head part, bottom part, or is it? Yeah, how does that work?
Yeah, it looks like it's the top and bottom are separated. Maybe one fits into the
Yeah,
next one.
yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
as well.
Um. Yeah, maybe
Thoughts
that one fits within that.
inside there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sort of expecting in this one here to see the bottom part as well, because we go back to in the final
Hmm.
final render. But I'll go back to the top there and we'll just have a look at stuff. Oh, there's a bit more going on here. Sorry, I'm just scrolling all over the place. Here we go. There's a little video as well. So there he goes there, Pablo. So we've got the little,
Right.
and he's actually uploaded it to Sketchfab, which is cool.
Hmm.
So
With this, there are two things that struck me with this one that I think could be improved as well. And
Mhm.
just as a general piece of feedback for anyone working in this type of projects with you have kind of like the main one and a companion one, just to
Mhm.
think about the scale of things. So if you go back to the Sketchfab one at the top,
Yep.
um,
This one here. Yep.
yep. So for example, things like the elements that are attached to those cables in the tiny companion version, I think the scale is off. As in, if you put them, if you take them out of context and put them side by side or in a in a carousel image, it's hard to understand the scale, like the relationship between the scales. So I would just take little details, little things of the big guy and reduce them, make them smaller, or vice versa. Take the companion and make the details larger, so that way, you can have as a reference point a bolt or like a gear icon or something, like a bolt, right? So if the bolt is the same size in both, that gives you that comparison or that way of
Mm.
comparing the scale, I think.
Yep.
That's one thing. And the other thing is I would block things out, the entire scene, before going any further. Like, one of the first thing that I would do is create the blockout of each character that would be in the scene, and then put together a very quick mock-up or prototype of the final scene, just to so you can understand the relationship that you're creating, with scale, with proportions, the placement, everything. And then you will be able to judge, okay, this looks cool, let's move forward and go through the texturing process and everything else.
Yep. No, great feedback. Great feedback. Yeah, it's cute. Good job. Let's just have a dive into another one. And your pick.
Let's go for that duck at
This
the
one here.
top. I don't know, it's, yeah, that one. It's a little bit lagging for me.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. So let's just scroll. Yeah, so I've just got some concept of this duck robot character, and just getting some. I think, oh, that's kind of cool, isn't it? It's different. I haven't seen a duck robot before.
Yeah, that's what I think is cool about it.
Yeah, it's almost it's almost like Predator type, isn't it?
Yeah.
That
I'm
sort of.
trying to think about like this. I mean, this is clearly from a game on Fortnite and stuff, but I think I've seen something similar somewhere. I can't remember where.
Oh, okay, cool. Is that, yeah, Fortnite? I didn't even realize that. Yeah, yeah. Looking at some other parts. So yeah, just really starting out.
Right.
It's game character, so just early stages yet. Maybe I'm going to pick. Which one am I going to go for? Yeah, for this one here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one looks interesting.
I'll just screw up all the way down to the bottom. Concept, giving credit to the concept artist. Oh, that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nice.
Really cool piece. Just even sort of like the hand gesture, if you can nail some, that sort of the hand's bent this way and the other one's going this, it's just, this certain sort of building out the 3D model here, moving on, matching to the reference.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of that praying mantis type of pose as well, which is good.
Oh, great. Let's have a look at this one. So they've matched the reference in terms of that pose, which is great. Starting to get some textures on there.
Yeah, and it's pretty close to the reference as well. That's really good.
UVs, just doing some early renders. Cool. Let's have a close look. Nice and clean. I'll just, so UV. Whoops. Stick in a little bit there. So still working up, obviously, still work in progress. Oh yeah, cool. So I'm just going to keep going up. So we're doing that. Got to these renders, and that's kind of where we're up to. Yeah, I think it's a really great start. It's a really great start, actually. And it person hasn't got caught up in any of the background stuff yet. It's just still focusing on the robot. I think what I'd love to see is just the floral stuff. I'm not too sure if it would. Do you reckon it would be nice to set in in a different type of style, Pablo, or do you think it kind of works as the way that it is now with these types of materials?
I think the shapes work.
Yeah,
The materials I feel a little bit too plastic, almost the
yeah,
same thing.
exactly.
So yeah, I would definitely like add a little bit of translucency to those pieces as well, and maybe a grading of color. But I think yeah, it goes with the style. I think it's similar and it's closer to the um to the reference file. So I think it would be just a matter of, like with anything, if you're translating a 2D concept into 3D, it's just what figuring out how to make the 3D version work
Yeah,
better. So yeah, I would say just a matter of changing the material, make it more translucent,
yeah,
so it feels
exactly.
more soft.
It's, it's almost that's cool having that one style with the robot and those types of materials. But if you're able to kind of steer it towards a more, I wouldn't say realistic, but some yeah, like slightly more realistic than that sort of
Mm.
plastic cartoony feel. You could do some really nice stuff with that. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think
absolutely.
a great start. Awesome, love it. Uh, and what else have we got here? Do a couple more, man. What do you want? Which one, Pablo? Let's go to. I'll just go to another page, just so that
Yep.
we're being fair with everybody.
Let's
And
go with
I'll
that
just
Frankenstein one.
this one here.
Yep.
Yeah, he did stand out, didn't he?
The, old,
Lovable
the
robot
oldest robot
character.
live.
There you go. Aging. Let's have a look. I'll just see if there's much in terms of reference stuff. So did a really basic sort of concept. You know
Hmm.
what? Start that concept on a napkin. You've done a few concepts on napkins before,
Yeah,
haven't you, Pablo?
fair enough. Fair enough. It's just to put down the idea. That's all good.
That's all good. Started doing some modeling there and got painter and just quickly adding some materials and kind of yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Let's just get in there. Yeah, where do you want to start with this one, Pablo?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, it's a good effort, and it's I would say true to the thumbnail sketch. But like a few things that again stand out to me are the strength of the normal maps and the bumps is like way too much. Um, and you know, I do get like the simplicity of all the objects that are being used, but it's about again thinking about how these work in real life. So I would just go down on those extra details because it makes it like very noisy and very heavy in the textures around the mouth area as well, um, and just reduce it to this something that would go along with the simplicity of the forms.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that simplicity is just a matter of if you're gonna go for that stuff. It would be interesting to carry that idea throughout the entire project, like texture-wise, a simple light setup, a simple presentation as well. So yeah, texture-wise, I think it's a bit too strong. The bomb up or the normals.
yeah. No, I totally agree. I think you're right. Because yeah, simplicity is good, and that's I think sometimes simple. You can still get a lot out of simple characters, and I think even with something like this, you could afford to go really simple on the materials and really just dial it all back. Like you said, it might be just some really basic wear and grime and stuff in those key joints, but keeping it clean and simple could make it even more cuter. Because at the moment, I feel like that the materials are actually pulling my focus away from the actual character itself. It's too
Yeah,
overpowering with that bump and normal detail. The glowing walking cane here. What is that? A backpack? I'm not too sure. A little sort of pulley
yeah, it
card or
looks like one
whatever.
of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And maybe
probably.
this person, it's their first attempt at painter, and like we all did, Pablo, when you get in there and painter, and you just start throwing materials on and cranking it all up. So
Yeah,
yeah, so I think
yeah.
it's
Um, and just another thing that this is kind of like what I mentioned with the previous one of the previous ones in terms of proportions. Like you see that gear shape that is on the neck. That is exactly the same object, the same shape for the shoulder. I would say a little bit
mhm,
around the shoulder area. So it's the
mhm,
same thing. So I would either create something different, something new that has maybe less gap between each one of those teeth in the gear, so that it feels like it's not the same asset just being reduced, and that way it sort of helps with the maintaining that scale.
Yep. Very good. What else have we got there? Let's have a look. That's kind of cute. And I'm going to scroll down the bottom. So we're starting with, we've got a little sketch fab there. Got this character with a little light bulb between his head and some vine stuff growing on him, showing the process, various maps, pretty basic sort of modeling going on, and some rigging stuff as well. Yeah, cool. I like actually, here's quite cute. I love the big eyes, and like just again, that's just talking about the cleanliness that we were speaking about. You can have a simple character, but with just really, and when we say simple, it's not just, it's there are subtleties in those materials as well, right? Just really fine, and just the way that the light reacts to those materials, you can still pick up subtle breakup and reflections and a specular and so forth.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is just one of the references. It's not the same one though. Yeah.
No, it isn't. But if he can get it to that level, then that's going to be very interesting. And even if he's able to sculpt in that sort of camera shutter lens thing there, that would be cool as well.
Yeah.
So just work in progress there. Updated it a few days ago. All right, we'll do 2 more and then we'll call it. Hang on a sec. I was going to go back, and I liked that cat. I was just going to have a quick look at this one.
Yep.
Concept
that looks
art.
like more of an organic one, which is cool. The organic shapes.
So ask for permission. Yeah, that's a really cool concept, actually. I like that. Yeah, really like that. And cool. Yeah, if you can nail that, that's cool. Just a little butterfly on the hand to break up all the hardness of the metal. And is that like a salt shaker or something? I don't know what that is. I'm like, is he looking to eat the butterfly? That's kind of, I like that.
I like it. Yeah, it's a bit of a backstory there.
Yeah, that's cool. Really like that. All right, man, your last pick. I'm going to move to this page here, and then I'll let you pick one out.
Let's see. Let's go for on the left hand side, that red one, the third one from the bottom. Yep. Red Eye.
Red Eye. Work in progress. Cute little retro styled robot. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, cool.
That's
very nice.
Cool. I'm just going to.
It reminds me of what was the name? Robots. Yeah.
Yeah, Robots. Yeah.
Robots. Like one of the main guys as well. Like it has that sort of vibe that is using sort of borrowed ideas from all cars and Cadillacs and stuff, like added into it, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, loving the detail in the eyes and stuff as well.
Yeah, and this is like I think a good example of that. What we were talking about, like it's simple. The shapes are pretty simple, but it's aligned in a nice way. So like the proportions and the placement of things are working nice. That's a nice detail. It's barbecuing some sausages at the back with the really nice.
The little grill plate looks like the UVs are stretching a little bit on the side, but I even like the sort of the touch where I think it's under the chin, like at the bumper where there's a few scratches and stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
Let's go to the next. So just doing, that's the eye detailing, some modeling. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's aside from the shapes in general, the eyes and those eyebrows, that's what remind me of the robots, because they're like kind of like that. Which that's a very, if it works, it's a very, very good way of making something hard surface to be expressive as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see even just using those sort of eyelashes or shutters or whatever, you'd be able to get like loads of different, sort of fake expressions.
Absolutely.
And even sort of with that mouth, you could be changing color, warm for happy and blue for cold. It's a blue for sort of sad or whatever it is. So you could play with that, play that up as well. With the lights. Love that.
Yeah, that's really nice. I would say, like, if I was to just pick on something that maybe could be improved a bit is the red material. It still feels a bit too plasticky, like a shiny plastic. Not like I would expect this to be more of a like a car
Yeah.
polished or like, even like a metal. So it might be a matter of just adding a little bit of those flakes to reflect the light different, or maybe adding like a coating so that it's a bit more turquoise or
Yeah.
something, like it changes the light depending on the refraction. Yeah,
Yeah.
so those little things, but I think in general it looks pretty good. I don't know if there's a concept to attach the hand somehow, because right now they're kind of like floating in there.
Yeah, they look like they're floating. I was just thinking then as well, Pablo, that just that sort of that little bit of edge where, where you do see a bit of the metallic coming through the paint would just,
Hmm.
if you could get that real reflective paint type finish on it, and just even adding some details to the tire, just to have, just little things like that, just to
Hmm.
bring it to that next level. And I think
Yeah, for
just
sure.
be careful with how black those tires are getting as well. You're losing detail. You can hardly see
Hmm.
it in the actual render itself.
And even
But
the chrome material, like it's like too perfect, right? So it might be good to add maybe a bit of in Painter you can just drop in a fill layer and then add a dirt modifier or dirt mask basically,
grunge,
so that or a
grunge
grunge,
matte.
yeah, and you can
Yeah,
just like add a bit of variation and add some dust, and because it's not,
yeah,
unless it's just like brand new. I
yeah.
don't think it's, yeah.
And maybe it's just a start. I mean, it still hasn't updated for a while, so maybe it's a work in progress as well, and they'll get to that point. But yeah, in terms of a starting point, really great job.
Yep, great.
That's awesome. Wicked, awesome, man. Well, I think we can probably call it there, dude. Unless you really want to do one more, then we'll call it a day. And yeah, we can look at doing another session, maybe next week or the week after, and yeah, just bring people up to speed.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the purple one with the yellow background on the right.
This one
um
here,
yeah, it looks pretty cute as
or
well
that
with the
one?
expression. No, that one, yeah, I think
Okay,
we
cool,
looked at the other one last time.
awesome. Let's do this one. So updated a while ago. So we've got there's some concept art there. So building out. It's kind of cute. What do you think in terms of proportion and that part, like
Yeah, I think
working?
this one is working nicely. Yeah, the proportions and everything. I would even take the hands and or like the fingers and make them a bit chunkier and bigger as well, sort of like similar
Hmm.
tapering effect. But in general, the proportions, I think, yeah, really good.
Cool. And yeah, it's kind of like a, what? It meets the brief. It's a cute little robot. The
Hmm.
some basic sort of texturing, but there's some interest there. Just in terms of the breakup of the materials. I think
Yeah.
yeah, it's and like even to your point before about the chrome being, there's definitely some breakup in that metal component in the middle, which is great.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I think
looks good.
it looks great. I mean, I think
Yep.
simple and effective presentation as well. There's no need to overdo it with the scene. It's about presenting the character, so I think it works.
Nails the brief. Yep. Awesome.
Fantastic.
Cool, man. Well, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen there, and I'm going to say farewell to you, my friend, and have a great rest of the week. Yeah, hopefully you haven't got
Alrighty.
too much left on. How's the weather in Melbourne at the moment?
It's just starting to get like really annoying because it's really good. So, and you still have to do work, but it's just like the weather that you feel like, oh, let's go for a bee or something
To the
and just
beach.
chill. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah, cool.
it's really good, but it's annoying when you have to do a lot of work. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's getting better.
stuck inside. Awesome. Hey, well, we'll
Mm.
call it there. I'm going to be in Melbourne next week, so let's catch up for that beer that you were just talking about just then, and yeah, maybe we can do a live session together or something. I'm there Monday, Tuesday, and
Yeah,
Wednesday, but we'll talk about that offline,
that
mate.
sounds good.
Excellent. Nice one,
Easy. Let
Pablo.
me know, and
Thanks a lot.
I'll schedule it. All right.
Perfect.
Take it
Thanks,
easy, man.
buddy.
Thank you.
See you,
Have a good
everybody.
one. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.